How do you do, fellow chuds? Welcome to another video of Eastern European Chuds, brought to you by your host, Matthew. Now, I want to start this video off by thanking everyone here watching this for sticking around with me for 2 months now, which is honestly huge. Like, thanks to you guys, my expectations for a Chudistan video have absolutely shattered, and it's truly amazing now to have a second video that has reached 1K views. Like honestly, just wow, really. Also, a huge shout out to the 28 people who have subscribed to my channel in the last month. You guys enjoying the videos that I watch just means the world to me. Anyway, let's actually get down to business. First announcement of the day is the channel now has its own Discord server. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description, as well as in the description on my channel page. I hope you guys check that out. It's basically just a place where you can hang out, suggest ideas, you know, bully me into making certain videos and generally keep up with what's going on the channel. Now, for second thing, yes, I am fully aware that the Left 4 Dead video has reached its like goal. The reason why it's been over 2 weeks with no sequel in sight is because in the week immediately after the upload, I was working on developing the Hoi 4 mod so I could record even though Igor and Francis were both down for that. And, you know, my thought process at the time was, okay, this video still hasn't reached 10 likes. I'm busy anyway. The recording can wait. Which, in hindsight, was probably a bad decision because the week after that, when the video finally did reach 10 likes, Igor just came out of blue and said his spring break was over and he had to do his last exams until he could get off school sometime in June. I was like, okay, yeah. You know, that's on me. I can wait 2 or 3 weeks. Should be fine. But just now, a few days ago, Igor DM'd me and just casually said, "So I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'm going on holiday again." Even though bro literally went to NYC 2 weeks prior, and he said, "I can't record until July." And it basically just disappeared in the backrooms immediately afterwards because he stopped replying to my text messages. You know, what the fuck, man? So, now I have a very difficult decision to make. I can either leave the series in indefinite limbo until Igor decides to actually give a shit, or I can find someone to replace Igor temporarily for the next campaign or two, which could potentially ruin the group dynamic that made the first video so funny. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to think things over for the next couple of days and come to some sort of decision. Now, thirdly, I want to establish the rules, or rather premise, behind my Hoi 4 videos, as to not confuse you guys. Basically, every month or two, I'm just going to update the mod and make a video about it. You know, basically just putting on full display and showing you guys what kind of batshit crazy LSD-induced hallucination I decided to add in. Because, from what I assume, part of what made the Chudistan video so insanely funny was that made the Chudistan video so insanely funny was that you got to play as Chad, ruled by fucking P. Diddy, and then conquer Africa in order to form Chudistan, right? But it's basically just, that is just so insanely absurd, right? It's just so absurd to say it out loud. So, like that makes it really funny. You know, it's just such an absurd thing. And it's just comedic at a point. It's like, Chad ruled by fucking P. Diddy, of all people. I'm still laughing about it right now, you know. So I'm just going to focus exclusively on that, which means, no, I'm not going to play TFR or Kaiser Redux or Millennium Dawn or anything like that. I'm just going to be pure Hoi 4, nothing ever happens mod energy, you know? Now, last thing before we get to answering any of your comments, even though it's the beginning of the summer, you know, and everyone is getting out of school, everyone's just have so much free time, we can finally get the ball rolling. Well, no. Apparently, everyone other than me and Eric decided to fuck off to Croatia for 2 weeks, which, yet again, pretty much just leaves me to be the solely responsible person for maintaining the channel. Well, maybe Eric whenever he's not busy loitering around the quality leering center like Albanian Muslims do. Anyway, geez, that was quite a rant. Let's actually get to answering all of your questions. Now, first comment I'm going to read is from Czaszeczka. He wrote, "I have a few questions. One would be videos about Stalker. 2. What's your favorite TV series? 3. Do you plan to improve the quality of editing, or are you satisfied with current quality? I think I'm done with questions. Well, I'm not sure about more Stalker videos. I will, of course, release the part 2 to my Enhanced Edition review whenever that video reaches 15 likes, which it still somehow hasn't, despite being out for like over a month now. However, other than that, I don't think I will make any more, mostly due to 2 reasons. One, the problem is that I usually have with making long-form solo casual gameplay videos, such as my Stalker Enhanced Edition review, is that after a while of playing, I just get so mentally exhausted, you know? I just run out of things to talk about, or to commentate on, which then leads to utter dog shit coming out of my mouth, like, oh, there's a rock over there, wow. That's interesting. It's like you get what I mean. You get what I mean. If I want someone else to talk to me while I'm playing, I get exhausted much faster, which then leads to the footage I record getting boring faster too. And second reason, I think the video already illustrated my points and criticisms of the remaster quite clearly, because if it's immediately apparent that within the first half an hour of playing the game that developers changed exactly nothing and just made the game even more poorly optimized than it already was, then I don't need to make a whole series showing that. You know, it's just kind of redundant. Now, for your second question, the answer is obviously Breaking Bad. I have considered saying either Dexter, or The Office, or Dr. House. However, Breaking Bad is just a clear winner here, just because of how memeable the whole show is. Hold on. That was Mountain Dew, by the way. Definitely not gasoline. Yeah, the show's pretty memeable. You can go into pretty much any episode and find at least several moments that you can make clips out of. In fact, I think that's why the show has still remained relevant even 17 years after it came out. Also, the AI slop edits on the show on YouTube are just absolutely wild. I love them. Now, for your third question, I think my editing quality and style have noticeably improved since my first upload to YouTube, and part of what I love about editing software, is you discover new filters and features in your editing software that you weren't even aware of earlier. And I love constantly experimenting and trying new things out to make my videos even more, stand out. And I hope I will continue to improve over the course of my career on YouTube. Okay, next set of questions. The next comment comes from Pieta913. The question is, I like to see some repo or content warning on the channel. Earth Defense Force would be fun to see someday as well. Now, out of these games, I've only heard of repo before. I haven't played it, though. It's like, I actually have to look up what the 2 other games were. I mean, they seem like interesting games. I could maybe do some kind of videos about them. I'm not entirely sure what those videos might be yet, since I'm still mostly focusing on my own creative projects, but hey, like, I might check out those games when I eventually, like, run out of video ideas, so, yeah. It'll kind of just have to wait, I'm sorry. Alright, next question. This comment was written by Chemo Z7C. He wrote, "Wow, I never seen such an amazing European YouTube with a bright future. I sure do have good faith and keep up the good work, my guy. You have a lot of stuff ahead of you. But I wonder what made you start this YouTube channel." Either way, I'm happy to be on this channel, and I hope more content will be more on the way. Thank you so much for your kind words. First of all, like honestly, thank you so much. Now, to answer your question about what made me start doing YouTube, well, it's kind of like a whole can of worms in of itself. I think it could even warrant its own video at some point. Well, the short version is, I've been wanting to do YouTube for quite some time. It's always been a thought at the back of my head for, like, nearly 10 years at this point. However, since, well, until now, I've just never really gotten around to doing it, you know? I was either too busy with school, or too depressed, or just, going through some other tough shit to ever really give serious attention to, that fought. However, like 3 months ago, in like late March, early April, I was just visiting my aunt, it was like a normal visit, nothing unusual. However, while we were sitting in her garden, she asked me a pretty serious question. She asked me, あなたは人生で何をしたですか? And at the time I was like, meh. Eh. But the question really stuck with me. And like a week later, I just went, fuck it, we ball. I created my YouTube channel. Alright, now we have a comment from Mvoyo. I think that's how you say it. Hey, I have a couple of questions. 1, are you planning to improve the sound quality of your mic? 2, are you gonna do more collabs with other people? 3, how come you look so stylish? Now, yes, I am very well aware of just how bad my mic quality is. Currently, I'm working on editing techniques for how to minimize the damage for whatever my earbuds mic have. Sorry, for whenever my earbuds mic has a seizure mid-recording. Sometime next week, I'm planning on seriously looking at options on replacing my 15-year-old earbuds. And, you know what? I'll let you sick jokers vote in the Discord server as to what mic or headset I should get. Now, by collabs, if you mean just doing, like, more videos with multiple hosts, like in some of my Gmod videos, or Left 4 Dead series, or even a Portal 2 co-op series, then yes, I do continue to make those, and I think those type of videos are a very core part of my channel identity. Now, if you're referring to collabs with other YouTubers, I am in fact currently in the process of doing one. Some of you might know a YouTuber by the name of Il Patriota Albanese. That's Eric's old channel, on which he basically hasn't uploaded in months, and he's currently in the process of migrating his audience over to my channel, which he's currently helping me work on. In fact, he's the guy that made the Doki Doki Literature Club horror shorts, if that's some of you guys might have watched. Please watch those, by the way, if you haven't. Basically, the collab is based on a Gmod Machinima skit that I have been one of the writers and voice actors for, called AIDS Giver vs. Steroid Scout. Unfortunately, the project has kind of been in development hell for almost a year at this point. Because even though the script and voice lines have all been sorted out a very long time ago, I might add, the project's animator is Francis of all people, and if you know anything about Francis, from some of the videos on my channel, then, to put it plainly, anything this man touches turns to shit. Throughout the whole project, Francis has just been, like, pretty slow to work on pretty much anything. And it's kept me and Eric in the dark about the state of the video throughout, like, the whole time. However, since me and Eric are both off school now, and, we're both very determined to finally get this collab done at some point, we'll be nudging Francis more and more so he can finally get off his lazy ass and finish the Machinima at some point this summer, hopefully. And for your last question, I am a very big American Psycho fan. In fact, it's in my top 10 movies. That movie is just, like, pretty much a reason why I love wearing suits so much. For the last commenter, Patrick with a jug on his head. Would you be interested in making your own personal TF2 trading guide with what you do and how and what not to do and to get that type of stuff? Yeah, absolutely. I have, in fact, already made that video, and it's scheduled to come out at 6:30 p.m. Central European Time, or 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my American audience, on June 12th, which by the time this video comes out will be tomorrow. Stay tuned for that.